Hello, good evening, and welcome. In theory, I'm speaking. Oh, blimey, that's no good. Yeah, bad weather did plague this campaign. If I move my hat around a little. Yes, this way. Oh, yes. All the badges. So, in theory, I've got voice. Hello there, Paul. Let's get the game loading while we chat. So, let's turn that off. You don't do that. Today, we are looking at Arnhem, the Market Garden operation, which has happened this weekend. Well, not this weekend. On these dates, started yesterday on the 17th of September and ran all the way for about a week or so until the 25th or so. And then it went a bit, yeah. It achieved 90% of its objectives, said Field Marshal Montgomery, which is technically true, but also it failed. And, yeah, didn't do enormously well. But essentially, this is a Spectrum game by R.T. Smith, by CCS, Case Computer Simulations. I bought it because it comes with the manual. And, he said very carefully, a little, teeny, tiny map. We have a map. Ooh. Now, north is at the top, which is this way. Everything's mirrored. Yes. Well, it's one of these things is, if you say, how many bridges do we set out to capture? You got all of them, apart from the last one, which is the one, but without the last one, it was all a bit pointless. So what we should have is a little diagram here of the map, which I've tilted on its side. And we start off at the bottom, and we're heading to the right. We have to capture the bridges at Eindhoven. After Eindhoven, it's Son. We keep pushing forward. So we have three airborne divisions will be landing, and then the British 30th Corps with tanks will be pushing up the road. After Son, there is, I believe it's Weigel, sorry, it is Weigel. Hopefully I'm still speaking. So the blue are rivers, the light blue are swamps, reds are forests, and there are also towns and cities and bridges. Oh, excellent, that's good. This thing's always a bit of a pain. And I keep scrolling up. There's Weigel there. So to our right is German-occupied Germany, which is to the east. To the left, the German-occupied Netherlands. Heading further north, we get the town of Grave, which is an unfortunate name. Where are you going? To the grave. There it is. And some of these rivers could be bridged in other ways. As you get further north, the rivers get bigger. Once you get to Nijmegen, the bridges are 600 metres long. So you can't just bridge them easily because they're much, much too wide. Because this is coming into the lower Rhine. The game's still loading on the other screen, don't you worry. We're not going to miss out. So on the right, you've got, indeed, that's it. Oh, blimey. These sort of pink contour lines are hills, because there are hills in the Netherlands, and forests, because we're now looking at Nijmegen. And there's a very big bridge at Nijmegen. See, it's double the width of other ones, because now into what are called major rivers. And major rivers can only be crossed at bridges or by paratroop or glider units. And obviously there are lots and lots of swamps. Because it's the autumn, it's been very bad weather. So you've got bridges spinning, we've got tulips in a nice Dutch. We can't put actually any real flowers in that vase, so there's a slight crack in it, so it will leak. But see, the rivers here are double width, so they're much, much harder to cross. And beyond Nijmegen, it's a short step up to, on the left, you've got the little town of Oosterbeek, where Field Marshal Model was had his headquarters. And to the right, you've got Arnhem, across the very famous Bridge Too Far, which was said at the time, but but before and not afterwards. So the game is now loaded. So, without further ado, I'm going to switch to playing the game. Yeah, that's smooth, that is. So it is from Get rid of you. Move you up here. There should be chat. So we are going to begin the game. And we have a choice of scenarios. There's Advance to Eindhoven, which is a little short scenario where you advance to Eindhoven. There's Operation Garden. Operation Market. There are two different operations, Market and Garden. Then there's the Bridge Too Far, and then the whole thing is Market Garden. We're going to try the whole thing in honour of Operation Market Garden. How many players? We'll have one player, which is me, which means the computer plays the baddies, or the Germans as they otherwise know. Are you playing a black and white? We're going to say no, although that means the British are green and yellow, which is a really bad choice of colours. Otherwise, the British and the Americans are the same colour, which we don't want that. We want different pretty colours. And here we are. So each turn is comprised of multiple phases. And that's right, yes. So this is phase 1. You get a motorised phase, a non-motorised phase, and a second motorised phase. And each day has morning, afternoon, and night. So we're starting off with the 2nd Battalion Irish Guards, the Guards Armoured Division, who are the flashing green and yellow checkboard thing. Oh yeah, you should do. Well, if Professor Green is here, he didn't like me calling the Japanese the baddies. These are the baddies. We're the goodies, they're the baddies. So we're going to report on us. We have got, our strength is 60. We are a battalion. And we are going to attack to the right. The black and green units are German units. We're not quite sure what they are, though. We're going to push forward along the road. Again, we've got here a unit of the Irish Guards. They're going to move to the I keep going to say to the south, but they need to the east. Because the Germans off to the side. This is a reconnaissance unit. Reconnaissance units are unique in that they're the... Oh, indeed. Indeed, definitely the baddies. Keep an eye out for Germans. Hello, Duncan Old Pulpe. We have bridges, we have tulips, we have baddies, we have goodies. So this is a reconnaissance unit. Reconnaissance units are unique because they can move in all three phases, the motorised phase and the non-motorised phase, because they're actually super, super fast. And we have here lots of Germans hanging about, causing trouble. But our aim here is to drive them out. So here we're now advancing. You get sounds. In your phase, you attack, and the Germans don't get to counter-attack. All move on the first turn. It's a surprise attack, you see. Typical British ingenuity. If you're playing in black and white, the British and Americans are blue, so they're a lot easier to see. We're now sending in our paratroopers. You do not want to land next to an enemy unit. We're going to land... This is the 1st Battalion of the 1st Parachute Brigade, so it's very small. So I'm trying to drop him here. This is the 3rd Battalion of the 1st Parachute Brigade. You have to drop them in an empty square. So I'm dropping them at either side of Arnhem. This is the 1st Battalion of the Borderers. So again, you have to be in an empty square. The 7th Battalion KOSB. Oh, I expect they are, yeah. It goes bang, bang, bang. So I don't want to drop him here. And you can't drop him in the swamp. So I'm scattering. I'm trying to make the most of my surprise. Here we've got air landing artillery. Yes, I did like the 128k sounds in Desert Rat. So they're really rather good. So until recently, online you couldn't get the manual of this. All they had was a fan translation of a Russian article from 1988, which I tried to read, and it was like, these are words. I understand there were words in this article. I don't know what's going on. So I bought the game off eBay for £5, and it arrived yesterday, and I scanned it in this morning and sent it off. So this is air landing artillery, which you can use for bombardment, but also it has a shorter range because it's only small artillery because it's air landing. I'm going to send the air landing artillery down this end, if I can. And here we've got some gliders. You can't land in the town. Right, now it's now afternoon. Phase 2 for the British. So here we are. The Reconnaissance Unit gets to move. And he's going to push forward. And now we have a... Now we've landed. I'm going to send the troops in, charging into town as fast as I possibly can. Into the city of Arnhem to capture the bridge. Quick as we can. To make the most of our advantage of surprise. You have to be careful with bridges because you have to be small to get over a bridge. Otherwise you're wading over the river. Which you don't want to do. So I was move my troops around. And here I want to try bombarding. Which I can't. So you, I want to move out of the way. So here we're now we're moving. So I'm attacking that. That is German motorised infantry. Hope you can still hear me. I'm dressed as Monty. That's an attack. We like attacking. And I've managed to capture Arnhem. So now I've got some more troops landing. This is the 82nd Airborne Division, who are Americans. So they're trying to capture the area here. I'm going to drop a guy here. Bosch. No, not the Bosch. They're Americans. Either side of Grave. But they're not very big units. So I'm going to space them out. I can't get closer to Nijmegen because of the swamps. Can I go here? Yes, I can. So what we're now doing is basically parachuting our troops in. But you can only have 2 battalions on a square. Or 1 brigade. And you can't pass through each other. So you've got to be very careful where you land. The idea is we want to capture the road. And make it so it's nice and safe. For the goodies who are going to be charged on the road in their little tanks. That's Eindhoven. We go back and forth over the map. It says this might take several hours. Here we are. So we are going to now move and attack. Move into the town of Grave and capture it and hold the bridge. You're going to move forward into the woods. I want you to go up onto the hill and then dig in. I want you to occupy Nijmegen. Pink is a city, black is just a town. Obviously, infantry are very good in cities. Tanks are less good in cities, so you want to get yourself into cover. So the map is very, very long. Again, there's the 1st Battalion of the 101st Airborne, the Screaming Eagles, I believe they're called. So it's the afternoon of September the 17th. It's all going very well. This guy can change size. What that means is you can creep across and occupy a bridge. Because bridges are very small. However, if you're small by changing your size, you're also much more vulnerable. You take double damage from any attacks. Because you're in a line or some sort of nonsense. So again, we're doing quite well. We capture these bridges. It's all going rather splendidly. Huzzah! So those are German tanks in Eindhoven. We weren't expecting those. Bit of an issue. But we're shooting them anyway. Because paratroopers aren't particularly good against tanks. That is anti-aircraft guns. Fortunately, we're good against those because we can just machine gun them. So we've caught Jerry with his trousers down. Now back to phase 3 of the afternoon. This is the second motorised phase, where the Germans are very much on the run. Oh yes, Mr. Hitler. So we're going to keep pushing forward with our tanks. And you are going to stay here and guard our flank, because what we don't want is for Jerry to capture the road, because that would be a bit of a pain and block our supplies. There's only one very, very long, very, very thin road. It's all went very well. We are winning. Hopefully you will all hear me in chat. Now it's night time now. So we're doing quite nicely here. And we're going to push forward. The 3rd Battalion of the Irish Guards are going to dig in. The Irish Guards are the most junior Guards regiment. We've got more soldiers now. We've got more tanks. I'm going to... Hello. What we can do is adjust the desktop audio. Hello there, Fred and George. It's always good to find out what volumes are like. So I've pushed the Spectrum audio down and I pushed my desktop, my microphone up. So this is the 2nd Battalion of the Grenadier Guards. That's quite all right. Yeah, it's hard to... Because I can't hear myself in my ears. So we are going to go west, which is up. North is to the... right of the screen. The map is on its side, and we're going to chase away these Germans with our tanks and try and liberate the Netherlands. So, as I said, playing in black and white might be a better idea, because unfortunately yellow and green are like, what were you thinking, R.T. Smith? Unless he wants the British to be in camouflage, in which case he succeeded really, really well. So this is the 1st Battalion of the Welsh Guards. They've got onto the road. And again, we've got a Reconnaissance Unit, which is super fast. And we have Field Artillery. And they are going to bombard, which means shoot, these guys. Actually, we might be able to... Yes, we're going to bombard these guys. So what Bombardment does, it does some amount of damage, but in addition, it makes the enemy take double damage as well from attacks, which is an excellent thing. So we're going to keep pushing along the road, but keep our flanks secure. It's a very, very long, very, very thin battlefield. So Jerry is facing to the left, and we're all facing to the right. Jerry is green with black background. The yellowy blobs are British. The dark blue blobs are American. He has an option for playing in black and white, which I think is a better option, because you can easily see what the units are. Because the British ones are what? In Desert Rats, the British are white and... they're yellow and blue. In Vulcan, the British are yellow, I think also yellow and blue, or black and blue. Here they're yellow and green, which is madness. So the Germans are attacking my units, which is a dastardly underhanded German trick. So here's the map. And we're basically going up this way. It's very long, very thin, and there's one very, very long road. It's now phase 2 of the night turn. Phase 2 is non-motorised units, but also reconnaissance units, which are very fast. I think they only get to attack once a turn, though. So he's going to try and cross the river. The wrecking units are super, super fast. So you can use them to get behind the enemy, is the plan. And how are paratroops? The blue ones are Americans. So we've managed to get into Arnhem, and we've already facing German tanks. So I'm going to change his keys, and I'm going to change size to make him big and make him move to here. They don't like it Upham. They do not like it Upham. So there's a unit somewhere, and I can't even see where you are. And the key to change. I'm going to, again, make you big, and then make you move. So I don't want you on the road being attacked by the Germans. So this guy's in Arnhem. He's facing German tanks. He's going to immediately dig in, which means he's going to go to ground. Here we've got the borderers. We're going to move forward into Osterbeek, which is a little city. Now these guys need to be very careful. They need to cross the bridge. And you, though, are going to bombard. We're going to shell Jerry because he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it at all. Now, these guys are probably not doing very well. They're a bit unhappy. They've been attacked by Germans, so they're going to dig in now, in the woods. So we've managed to capture the city, which is pretty good. Can we hold it? The plan was they had the... Take that. They had to hold the bridge at Arnhem for 2 days before getting relieved. And in real life, it was meant to be 10,000 men doing it for 2 days. In real life, it was 750 men did it for 4 days. And then eventually you had to give in. These are Americans from the 82nd Airborne. And they're going to attack this anti-aircraft thing. These guys are going to dig in. Because I'm wait for support. These guys are going to dig in and wait for support. These guys have got to go and capture the bridge at Nijmegen. So we're going to advance through the woods into the city. You're going to dig in where you are. You're going to advance. These are paratroopers with a little... they're not mushroom men, they are paratroopers. We'll capture these heights, so they might be important for later. In case Jerry sends any reinforcements in. Obviously, he's got no reinforcements. He's on his last legs. Monty said so. And here we managed to capture the bridge at Vagel. So we're going to dig in. You've changed, so we're going to move forward 1 and then change size. And you are going to attack to your left, which is to the south. You're doing marvellously. You're going to attack this way. And so are you. Lots of brigades. So we're all doing really marvellously well. This is night time. And they don't like it at night. And you're going to dig in. And you've managed to capture Eindhoven. So we're going to move forward into the city. That's the American Phase 2. So you can play this 3-player with 1 player being the Germans, 1 player Americans, 1 playing the British. Who controls the Polish? We don't know yet. There is a Polish parachute brigade hanging about, played by Gene Hackman. He got very cross with Denham Elliott. Actually got very cross with everybody. But I remember in the film he was having a go at Denham Elliott. The film is on now on 5 Action. I'm recording it downstairs. So this is all going really rather well. But now the Germans get to have a go, which is not very fair. They started it. They shouldn't have a go at all. So they're moving troops around. The bastards. Because they've got super panzers, you see, flying about. Whereas we've got... Oh, stay. British tanks. And British artillery. Best in the world. We invented the tank, you know. They're not allowed to use the tank. So, we're now on... It's still night time. I think we've already attacked. No, we can attack again. Oh! Thank you for the subscription, Mr. Gobito. I know you only have 1 subscription a month. It's very kind of you to share it with me. And then you get your access to Stalker's Emotes, which is basically me with a moustache. So I'm going to try and push forward as far as we can. Exactly, yeah, we own the tank. They're not allowed to use tanks. Not allowed to use tanks, we invented them. It's cultural appropriation. It's sickening. That's why the Nazis are bad. So we're going to try and... You can cross rivers. It's really, really difficult. And what you don't want to do is have people sitting on the road, because then you can't use the road much. So I'm going to try and send this artillery up the road. When you travel, you'll go little small and tiny, but can travel at 2.5 times the speed. Which is obviously an excellent thing. But these guys will be stuck behind the tanks for now. But I don't want these Germans coming up later and causing trouble, as they do. Because I think there was the second SS tank corps was put in near Arnhem for rest and refit after Normandy, and we didn't notice. Or rather, apparently some people noticed and said, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. They're on their last legs. They got no tanks. So there's Eindhoven. We're going to capture Eindhoven, then Grave, Nijmegen, and then Arnhem. And it's fighting on the streets of Arnhem. In the film, they wanted to have Audrey Hepburn in it, and then she said, "No, not doing that," because I think she was actually there at the time, and it was a bit too close to home. So it's now morning of the 18th of September. So you get morning, afternoon, and night. Nighttime is obviously dark. So we're going to keep pushing forward with the tanks. They are trying to dig in the woods, but we're not going to let them, because we are too brave. I say it's quite hard to see because the colour scheme is just really bizarre. With a cursor, they will try and move where the cursor goes, but they'll stop when they run out of movement. As we're now in open country somewhere to the south of Eindhoven, it works pretty well. We've got more tanks. Again, I'm going to make these travel, which means make them go super, super fast. These are the Coldstream Guards who have tanks. They can go all that way, provided we clear the road. And you see how the road, this is the most important part, the road. And by being small, we can cross over bridges. And a wrecking unit. No worries, Paradox. We're still winning, which is good. So this unit is still carrying on. We are liberating the Netherlands. It's all going marvellously well. And as I said, I'm criticising the colour scheme because the British are superbly camouflaged. Superbly camouflaged. Now, unlike games like the Desert Rats and Vulcan, you get no option of attacking. You just get attack, which is fine. And when you move next to an enemy, you have to stop anyway. But you do have bombardment with artillery, which is abstracted in those other games. So the longer the sound, the better. We only attack in our phase. You never take damage on your go. You only take damage on the enemy's go, which is interesting. Yay! He's running away. So what you have there is, at the bottom left, is German motorised infantry in their little trucks. In the middle, the rifle is German infantry, just common or garden infantry. So we should be able to brush them out the way. But they are in the woods, though. The woods are red because it's September, so it's autumn. You see? Attention to detail. Blue are Americans, green are Germans, yellow are British. So that is Germans attacking our dug-in troops. We're fighting in the streets of Arnhem. Scrolling out. There's a lot of scrolling going on. It's a big map. There's fighting going on around here, which might be Son. And there's Eindhoven. Yeah, they're on the run. They're finished. So yellow means it's the British turn. You see? The border changes colour based on whose go it is. Oh, we've got more units coming, which is a good thing. I'm going to send him around the back. I'm going to be cunning. What you don't want to do is send a unit in next to an enemy unit. It's not bad luck. They'll take damage. These are various parachute brigades. The South Staffordshire. These are glider troops. They're coming in on gliders. I'm going to send these in this middle bit here. These glider troops can actually cross the big river. Oh, we can't put there because it's a swamp. You can't drop there because it's a bit of a forest. So you have to have clear terrain to get reinforcements coming in, which is nice. So now we've got the it's Germans sneaking up from the bottom, but we don't want that. So this is the British turn, 18th of September. The Americans are in the middle. We are going to dig in and wait for support. That's the best thing we can do. And you are going to... I think you're little. Change size. No. Make you big. And then move to the right. Now you've landed. I want you to advance down the road and attack this guy from behind. He's not going to like that. Again, attack from behind. Surround him. We're going to surround Jerry. He's not going to find that very amusing, is he? Now you're all too small. You're small. That's King. I think KSOB. It must be King's Own Scottish Borderers. You're going to change size. Make yourself big. So we've just landed, and we want to go and wander over here. And I want to bombard, because we can, these guys. They're not going to like that. We're going to stay put. You should go down here as well. The Americans are in charge of Nijmegen. We're in charge of Arnhem. Because once you're over the bridge at Arnhem, you then turn right, then you're into North Germany, bypassing the Siegfried line where the washing is. Yeah, try to make the GIF of the bridge transparent. It didn't work. I can move it then. See? Because the German unit is travelling, so it means it's little, it takes double damage. It's all going rather splendidly so far. This game is winnable. I've not played it before, so I'm probably not going to win. But we're trying it. Exactly, don't want to panic. We've now got artillery coming. This is air-dropped artillery, which is what we want. So we're going to drop it here in this clear zone to the east of Nijmegen. It's all about where you drop people and more troops coming in, where you drop them, and when you drop them, what do they do? These are the 101st Airborne Parachute Regiments. In real life, there was lots of bad weather. So we captured Grande pretty well. Lots of bad weather. So what that meant was a lot of the parachute drops were delayed. With parachute drops and air assaults, you want to make the most of surprise. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough planes to do all the attacks, everyone in one go, so it had to be done over several days. And then there was bad weather. Lots of bad weather. And because there was bad weather, that meant that people didn't get their artillery or their machine guns or their jeeps or bullets. I'm going to bombard. I'm going to bombard these guys in Nijmegen. This is American air-dropped artillery, which is the shortest range, but still useful. And here we've done pretty well. Move off the road. You're going to dig into this town here. So we captured this middle bit. We've done really well. We're pleased with that. We need to get this bloke off this bridge, because he's a baddie, and it's our bridge. You can dig in. You can stay where you are. You can say, yeah, we've managed to capture the bridges at Eindhoven without anyone blowing them up. Because in real life, they kept trying to blow them up. I don't think that German divers and frogmen and whatnot. So we don't know what this German's up to, but I don't like it. So I'm going to go and attack him. Because we don't want him causing trouble over our bridges. Americans like bridges. There's a famous film about bridges in America called The Bridges of Madison County. Although this film's got more war in it. No Clint Eastwood, though, although lots of other stars were in Bridge Too Far. So that's the Americans attacking. How are they doing at Nijmegen? So fortunately, we've not captured the bridge at Nijmegen. And see there, the river is extra wide. But we have caught some of the Germans in transfers. They're little teeny tiny Germans. So we managed to wipe them out. So the black border means it's the Germans go, because they're the baddies. And they've got super panzers. Exactly. Underhand, they shouldn't be allowed guns or tanks. They weren't allowed tanks in the Treaty of Versailles. Or artillery, or planes, or submarines. So the Americans had to retreat then. We're going to try and force our way past these Germans. The British are the yellow and green camouflage. You see, that's Monty's clever thinking. And we're doing okay, but we've gotten a bit stuck in this swampy area. We need to get our troops past these Germans here, and our tanks are all on the road. Loads of guys on the road, which is good. Remember, small, they move faster but are much more vulnerable. Excellent. Well, it's got similar colours to Splatoon. There are purple bits. Purple bits really being the cities and some of the hills. I think the important thing is that Monty wanted to make a big push to Berlin, and then he's gone, no, you can't do that, Monty. It's too far, and basically, or you'll make a really long, thin line to Berlin. And then Monty got very shirty with Eisenhower. To the end, Eisenhower just pat him on his knee and said, "You can't talk to me like that, Monty. I'm your boss, you know." Monty was very grumpy. So these are the Germans attacking, and they got tanks, and we don't have tanks. We've got artillery somewhere. But we captured the bridge, which is good. So in real life, the bridge in Arnhem is now called the John Frost Bridge because it's named after Colonel John Frost, who was played in the film by Anthony Hopkins. All-star cast. Dirk Bogarde plays General Browning. He's also, I think, Dirk Bogarde in real life is also in the film. Dirk Bogarde was in the Operation Market Garden. He was, I think, the first British officer to go into Bergen-Belsen. He was an intelligence officer at the time. And Edward Fox plays General Wotton, who's in charge of the 30th Corps. And apparently he's absolutely spot on in his portrayal. Because he knew him in real life. And he was actually, yeah, absolutely, you got me to a T. So, gentlemen, this is something you'll be telling your grandchildren stories about this, and they'll all be thoroughly bored. Bless him. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to winkle out Jerry, who is in this forest, because he's going to cause trouble because he's next to our road. Indeed, a bridge too far. Fonda, how's it going, mate? I think we've definitely got guards. Definitely got the guards regiment.
A bridge too far.
Indeed. Right, I'm going to shell this bastard. So this is the guards. I'm going to keep going. So I think we definitely got the Irish guards. I think we might have the... And I've seen the Coldstream guards. I'm not sure we've got the Welsh guards who are involved. Oh, we've got more units, the Royals. Like that song by Lordy. And more tanks. No, sorry, these aren't tanks. These are self-propelled artillery. So they look a bit like tanks. So you have to be careful with lots of different units. That's not a tank. It looks like a tank, but it doesn't have a turret. So look at the back of the book. This is No, this is a tank destroyer. A tank destroyer. Oh, yes. So tank destroyers are really good against tanks. As you might imagine. I've not heard of that one. I have to have a go at that. Actually. I do like Weird Al. His film looks intriguing. It's very silly. But the main thing I know of his is there's a film UHF or Videos, or as it was sometimes called, which is just him having a little cable TV station. We've defeated the Germans to the east. The map's on the side, so north is to the right. I may or may not be mirrored. North is to the right. We're heading to the right of the screen, which is north. Oh, it's great, isn't it? I do like that. Yeah, and I like when he's Rambo. When he's, and the bloke's firing machine gun at him, and then eventually he was drawing his bow out, and he's standing up next to each other, and the bloke is missing. Bless him. So this is the afternoon of the second day. Apparently this game may take 5 or 6 hours to play, but we're going to try anyway. Give it a go. Blue are Americans, yellow are British, the black and green are the Germans, who are, at this point, the war are in camouflage, which is cheating. And they've stuck up behind me, which is also cheating. Ouch. So the Germans have come out of German-occupied Germany, which is to the east, and are attacking my artillery. And I've wiped it out. Because leaving artillery on its own, next to German-occupied Germany, is a mistake. Don't do that. The Germans will get you. So we've now lost our artillery. The Schweinhunds. So obviously you've got German tanks, German motorised infantry and German reconnaissance units. Versus we have paratroops, we have glider units, a plethora of artillery of different range. But I don't know if the Germans can actually blow up bridges in this one. When units are small, they move faster but are much more vulnerable to attack. So we're going to catch them on the road and blow them up. It is now the afternoon of the 18th of September. Each turn has different phases. This is the phase 2, which is the non-motorised phase. However, reconnaissance units get to move in all the phases. Here we are. I knew we had the Welsh Guards. The Welsh Guards are Ponder. I've changed their size because you have to be little to get over a bridge. And we're going to send these guys up the road as fast as we possibly can. Because we need to help the guys at Arnhem, which is a long, long way away. I think sadly they got about eight miles away from Arnhem, and then stopped because they had to stop. So you are going to attack a bit. Because you're through a retreat, you're going to stay where you are. So this is Trevor's troops. We're going to dig in. That seems the most prudent thing to do. Keep pushing forward into the town. So capture the bridge. So we're trying to get into Arnhem and hold the bridge. So unit has retreated. We can't go to the right, but we can dig in. So let's go report. We can report on the thing. He's not doing very well. He's got badly beaten by the Germans, so he's going to dig in. Go to ground. We're going to try and capture the other end of the bridge. By attacking these mysterious Germans here. Hopefully they're not tanks. They're definitely dug in, so they can't be tanks. Whoever they are. That's glider infantry. This is paratroopers attacking infantry. It's a good, strong attack. Tanks don't do so well in towns, although after a while, in real life, the British ran out of anti-tank ammunition. Therefore, the Germans can just roll their tanks up and fire at point-blank range, because there's nothing you can do about it. And as we lost our artillery, artillery is very good against tanks, strangely enough. Unfortunately, it's not very good against infantry who just turn up and just wiped it out. So now onto the Americans, who are blue, like in real life. And we need to make these guys advance to attack these Germans. You're doing fine, actually. We've captured the bridge over at Grave. And there are German reinforcements coming. Oh, see you later on, Paradox. Have a nice evening, sir. Have a nice evening. We're going to attack the Germans who are over there somewhere. Because you have to, in order to cross a bridge, you must be small, and if you're small, you take extra damage. However, paratroopers can cross rivers, so we're going to take advantage of that, and try to cross the river and get in behind him. And you are going to bombard these guys. It's risky because occupied Germany is that way. We're going to dig in and wait for reinforcements. Still going to stay where you are. You're going to attack from behind, as it were. So we need to get you out of the way, because otherwise you're going to block our voyage forward. And we don't want that. So we've liberated Eindhoven, which is lovely. We're going to retreat a bit more. And you're going to dig in. They can't go along that road fast, and they can't go small, else we'll get them. That's the German garrison troops coming from the west of the Netherlands. I don't know how supplies work. So in Desert Rats and Vulcan, you always have to trace your supplies. Reinforcements automatically. Because I'm trying to keep the road open, which makes sense. Yes, because the Desert Rats, you very much have to keep the road open. Otherwise, your troops will run out of bullets and are out of luck. Whereas here, we were dropping supplies to the paratroops in Arnhem. Hello, Steve 8-Bit. We are playing Arnhem, the Market Garden operation. Because I've got the manual, so I've scanned it this morning and sent it into Spectral Computing. So far, we've liberated Eindhoven. We've liberated Nijmegen. We've not captured the bridge yet. We're fighting in Arnhem, and the 30th Corps are pushing their way north. And unfortunately, the Germans have now woken up and are sending reinforcements in from the west and the east and the north, which I don't think is very fair. The good news, though, is British Phase 3. So what we can now do is really push forward with our super tanks. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? It's a really big case. So it's a huge, big case. Open it up, and you get the cassette, the map, which just fold out, and the manual. For size, the manual is tiny. The map does fold out. Because the map is actually... It's a very long, thin map. So we start at the bottom. Down, they have to go through Eindhoven. Then you've got Nijmegen is about here. And then up here you've got Arnhem. It's a very long, thin map. But the manual is teeny tiny. Teeny tiny manual. So when I was scanning it in, it's like I couldn't scan it in properly. Oh, yes. We can have a filter. Filter's easy. Hang on. Webcam. Right click. Filters. Add a filter. Filter type. No, I don't want chroma key. Add a filter. Plus. Colour correction? No. There's a thing I can do. Hang on. There's a thing I can do. Is it a filter? Is it a filter or an effect? Oh, what is it called? Is it Luma key? No. Sorry, folks. There's a thing you can do. Property. Oh, what's it called? No. Bear with me. No. I know I've done it before. I've made it sepia. And it's quite fun. Filters. Set colour. No. And it's we want it sepia. Plus. It's a video filter. That's why. Things you don't want to do live. Right click. Filters. It's up here. Compressor expander. No. Colour key? No. They never call anything sensible, do they? Image blast, blank, crop, colour key, colour correction. Nope. No. Whoa. You can do that. That's weird. Yeah. Cap. There used to be a way of doing it. Filters. Image. Yeah, it's very strange, isn't it? Yeah, the manual's tiny. It's teeny tiny. The manual for Desert Rats is, it's not A5, but it's a reasonable size little manual booklet. But that's like, it's like, what the fuck is that thing? Tiny. So what we're now doing is we're making the Irish Guards travel. And what that means is they're basically getting their trucks and bombing on the road as fast as they possibly can. I've made it sepia in the past, and I bloody know I have. That's what's annoying. Device. Deactivate. Configure video. And it's such an easy thing to know. Oh, it's a bit of fun, that. I can flip it upside down. Edit. Transform. Christ. Baffling. Focus, James, focus. So we need to win a war. Not be all sepia-y. Yeah, it's actually tiny. I got the game was quite cheap on eBay. It was only a £5. So I ordered it Wednesday night. I went to the cinema. I saw the new David Cronenberg film, Crimes of the Future, which is all right. Very David Cronenberg. I think it's got lots of weird blood and guts and stuff. But it does have some nudity. So you win some, you lose some. So we're going to bobbing on the road as fast as we can. The Welsh Guards are going to go on the road. The artillery is going to go on the road, pushing forward. So these are actually powerful units we want to help out. We're not going to get too close to the Germans. And the important thing is you want to protect your flanks as well. Because you don't want Jerry coming along and cutting the road. So all your reinforcements are. But we're going to get up to Eindhoven first. And also, you can't pass through enemy units, obviously. You can't pass through friendly units either. So you do get traffic jams on the road. So it's quite good like that. So now the baddies are moving. So, sound is limited. You only get sounds for you moving your cursor and attacks. The longer the sound, the better. You only take damage So you never take damage on your own turn, which is something nice to worry about. So we're pushing forward quite nicely. Move these guys back up to the road. But guard the flanks. Important to guard your flanks. Now something's flashing. It's the Household Cavalry, Guards Armoured Division. We'll see what this German guy's doing here. We're pushing forward as fast as we can. So the game gives you the option of playing in black and white, which then makes the British units blue as well. So it's a lot easier to see. Because here I'm going, what unit is it? Because green and yellow, I'm not colourblind. It's just like they've got really, really change size, really odd colour choice. And if it's like black, yellow and black, fair enough. You can see that's nice and clear. But yeah, so they're really difficult to see. I'm going to shell these mysterious Germans because I don't know who they are and I don't like them. They're up to no good. They are up to no good. These are the Royals. This is the 30th Corps. Okay, first Corps Artillery of 30th Corps. Up the road as fast as you can. Lots of nice artillery. This is proper artillery with a really long range. But remember, you don't want to get the Germans to catch you on the road. So we've been playing now for nearly an hour. We're now on to the night of the second day. But we're having fun, it's the important thing. And we're learning things. And that R.T. Smith was not colourblind anyway. Oh, the baddie phase. That's good. I mean, we can go black and white. Black and white's alright. There we are. Black and white's like the war. Oh, hang on. That's bugging it. I hate with these things, when you click on things and they... I've got a... No. When I lock something, that means I want it to stay the same... If I do that, move you here. Perfect, mate. Right. I'm moving it around a bit so I can actually see it better because I can't really see very well. And if I do... There we are. I was making it bigger so I can actually see it. Because I'm squinting it at the side of the screen. A teeny tiny manual. Yeah, Vulcan and Desert Rats have almost coming like a video cassette style boxes, just one cassette and a little manual. The manual's big. The manual's bigger than that. That manual's tiny. It's a bloody tiny manual. If I show you, cassette, manual, map, massive box. 1985. So we're now the second. We're now in the. It's night time of the 18th. Yes, that's the one. So I'm going to send the Welsh guys off down to the south. We need to capture this bridge at Eindhoven first. It's a very long, thin map. And there's lots and lots of action going on. And there are... Yeah, I think the guys at Arnhem are not to put too fine a point on it, somewhat buggered. Because we need to get our tanks up there quite quickly, and we're not really. We haven't got past Eindhoven yet. So we're trying to get into the town and see what's going on. All the British troops here are going to charge in the night, hopefully do some damage, but it's not looking good at Arnhem. If you don't cross the bridge, then you're not getting across the river, and then the whole thing is for naught. Whatever Monty might say. I've got a book downstairs that Monty recommended about the Battle of Verdun, which is eye-opening, really. Verdun. So Reconnaissance Unit versus infantry, and I made the Germans run away. Now it's the Americans. So I tried to do stop motion with my tulip vase, but obviously I was a bit lazy. I'm a lazy man. So we cut the bridges at Grave. They're sorted. You're doing all right. You're quite happy there. How are we doing? We're doing all right, actually. Our strength is a bit reduced, so I'm going to retreat into the woods. These guys, they're doing good. They're going to dig in and wait for reinforcements. These chaps are going to try and cross the river and get around the back of Jerry. Should be a lot easier to fight that way. Now I'm getting nervous about you, so I'm going to send you up the road into the town for safety. Yeah, the bridge was what's the word? It's 3D paint, and I kept rotating them. But there might be a better way of doing it, but I kept rotating the model around at different angles, and managed to make it into a little GIF. Apart from 2 frames where I forgot to make it transparent, as you can tell. Tell what those frames are. So originally I wanted to have us going over the map like you're on the table. Then I thought I don't know how to do 3D stuff very well. But I think we're doing all right. The Americans are doing okay in the middle. I think this is Son where we are now. Fighting in the swamps. North of Eindhoven. And here we're doing well. And the British will show up soon. I think they're having a big thing this weekend with planes as well, actually, and Arnhem, in honour of the market garden. It said it nearly worked, it just didn't. But it nearly did, but it didn't. But it nearly did, and some stuff. If they'd have done that, they'd have captured the bridge. The bridge had 12 guards because they waited, and then by the time they got there, it was blown up, or it had lots of reinforcements, or they didn't, But then you don't know things. That's all. Someone said, some SS general said, if they'd have attacked, they'd have walked over us. But then someone else pointed out he didn't know that there were already Tiger tanks in the way. So if they had have attacked, they'd have been beaten up by the Tigers. They could have been. They might have. It could have been General Tulip, perhaps. They're a general model and a general student. Because they fake, these rubbish names. So remember, the film's got 5 actions. It might be on catch up as well. I'm recording it at the moment downstairs. My wife's gone to see Bullet Train at the cinema. So I saw the other week, and I really enjoyed that Bullet Train. Plenty of action. Oh dear. So German infantry is coming from the west, which is the top. But now it's night time, and the British have shown up, and we are now going to be attacking Eindhoven. But we need to get our move on. Because we've got things to do. People to see. Germans to defeat. Now you, I'm going to change my orders. Change my size to make myself big. So we're trying to get around. Oh, I'm going to stay where I am. And I'm going to shell the Germans. Which causes actually does damage them directly. Now, I don't think I can shell anybody. But I can definitely travel and move forward. Because I'm trying to stay off the road. He said, not by... You want to change size. Got off the road. We want to keep travelling. Because if you keep your artillery moving, then you can't bombard. So they have to be relatively stationary in order to shoot people, which is fair enough. Because if they're travelling, they're limbered up. This makes them more vulnerable to damage. Hopefully our tanks going in. That's what we wanted. And there's a little German guy over the bridge, but he's only little, so the Americans will hopefully get him. Remember, artillery. That's what you want. 9. It does go up. It goes down. It goes 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 up. It goes down. And British tanks. Only a German tanks into that. So, what are they up to, the Germans? The baddies. They're everywhere. I think there were various issues also with intelligence in that the British weren't taking advice from the Dutch because a few months recently they'd noticed that their whole intelligence operation in Holland had been penetrated by the Germans. It's called the England game, and they were sending basically gold and explosives to the Germans. And then the Germans say, "Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for all the chocolate and the gold and the explosives. Cheers." But basically, and everyone they sent over to help out the Dutch got immediately arrested and taken off to camps. So they weren't chocolate the Dutch. The Americans were, but the British weren't. It's always difficult. Always difficult. So, we now need to be careful. Now, tanks can cross bridges, but there's a baddie in the way. So I'm going to send him down to this bridge. Because otherwise we're going to take extra damage. We don't want to take extra damage because there's a war on. So there are bottlenecks at the bridges. It's now morning of the 19th of September. Now we need that German guy in the town not to be there. So we're going to be shelling Eindhoven. And change his orders. Change your size. And you go into the woods. Or try to. So we're getting hung up on that bridge. We've got tank destroyers. It's always handy if you've got tanks to destroy. We want to keep going. Right, here we are. So if you can scroll the map. If we could scroll the map, would be nice. So there's another bridge. Ah! The adventure game was fantastic. I think the best one I read about had what's he called now? The bloke from the Dr. Graham Garden on it, and apparently he walked the floor with everybody because he's incredibly clever. And he was on his own. He basically won the whole thing because he's Dr. Graham Garden. Massively clever man. All the stars were on it. Florida Benjamin. What they up to, these Germans? They're up to no good. We need to make sure they don't cut our supply line. So as a big push, it was a big push and it did very well, except it didn't actually achieve the important push, which is this bit here. And it wasn't the fault of the guys here, because we've captured the bridge at Arnhem. And we've been holding on to it for a couple of days. But we need to be reinforced. Like massively. Like please. These are very long bridges. And that's an awful lot of Germans. An awful lot of Germans. The Americans are doing a bit better at Nijmegen. But they've not captured the second bridge yet. British turn. Oh, we've got more units coming in. Ha! Gene Hackman. We've got Gene Hackman coming in. We have Gene Hackman. So I'm going to send Gene Hackman down here. General Sobiewski and the Polish Parachute Brigade. And also send Gene Hackman along here. So Gene Hackman counts as being British for the purpose of this game. So these guys are doing pretty well, actually. They're chasing these Germans. The Germans are coming in from the sides. So again, we are getting pushed back. We are losing efficiency and losing strength slightly. So we're going to just hold on as best we can. We are going to dig in. I think that's the best thing to do, is just dig in and basically pray, really. So you're doing quite well here. We're going to go here and stop. Now, again, it's hard to tell because it's green and yellow flashing. Is that who? What? Who? So now, oh, Gene Hackman. So Gene Hackman's coming up from the east, and it's hoping to attack this guy as well. Winkle him out. Cause some extra damage. This is Arnhem for 1985, going over the Operation Market Garden, which was September 1944. Each day has 3 bits, 3 turns in each day, morning, afternoon and night. Each turn has 3 phases. Motorised phase, non-motorised phase, and a second motorised phase. The only unit that can move in all 3 phases is a reconnaissance unit. And we've got artillery now, which is nice. Divisional artillery. We need to put it somewhere nice and flat, but not here. Unit may not drop here. Here's a swamp. If I can put it up here. We've got more troops coming in for the Oh, hello. These guys. Oh, they're moving, that's why. He's going to stay put. He's quite happy. Unit has retreated. He's getting mauled. So we're going to dig in, or try to. Actually, he's going to attack slightly. We're going to try and cross this river. Because it's a major river. It's a lot bigger. And we are going to artillery shell this bloke. This is the Americans who are blue. Americans are blue. Dabba dee babba dabba dabba doo. So we've done quite well here. Where should we go now to help? Let's go down here to help. We've got more Germans coming. We're going to dig in. Dig in. And you're going to travel. Let's go up the road. And help out some more. So it's all looking pretty good in the middle. So between Eindhoven and Grave, we're actually doing pretty well. Or I don't want to travel. No. And you're going to stay put. You're going to attack this guy, or try to. You're going to bombard this guy who might be tanks. So now the Americans don't have any tanks, so therefore they don't get any. They get one phase. Artillery does do some damage. If I can get rid of that little German guy there who gets double damage, the British then go over the bridge. So we captured Eindhoven. See, this little German take double damage because he's only little, and he's been wiped out. So now it's the baddies go. The baddies. Hence the border's gone black. The inadvertent presence of the 2nd SS Panzer Corps, which caused some disruption to Allied plans. That and the weather. And the road. That's German artillery. That's more German artillery. That's Germans attacking. There are lots of them. So that's going back to his Eindhoven. So this end of the map's doing pretty well. This is the British 30th Corps. Lots and lots of tanks and artillery and infantry. Very powerful. Unfortunately, we have to get there to where we want to go via a very long, thin road. So I want you to change your size. Oh, so it makes you small. Something's flashing. Yeah, you're carrying on. Because it's yellow, it's like, what? How big are you? It's hard to tell sometimes who's doing what. So we're getting ready to cross a bridge. We'll cross that bridge there. Ah, the vortex. The vortex is brilliant. Everyone knows the vortex. Right, why can't I shoot anybody? I'm going to shoot. So let's shoot some people. Yes, you're seeing this sort of crisscross things, and also the. Let's keep pushing. The having the big elastic bungee ropes on your back as well. Right. Now you should have a very long range. So you're going to shoot this bloke. So see how long the range is for the... this is proper artillery pulled by trucks. So this is, much longer range than the airdropped artillery. So I'm trying to get rid of these Germans because I don't want them threatening my very, very long, very thin road. Although I'm not sure what the advantage of the road is. Because we haven't got supplies. Whereas Desert Rats, you have a little tick and you trace your supplies from Alexandria or from off map around El Agilia. And the same with Vulcan, you trace your supplies from Tunis or from somewhere else. And I know a lot of supplies are coming in through Cherbourg, but not enough supplies. And Antwerp wasn't ready yet, and also the Germans could just stop it because they could shell the Scheldt. Here we go. Bloody Germans cheating. That's Gene Hackman. They're attacking Gene Hackman. Yes, let's move the bridge over here. Just for a bit of variety. You're not using this part of the screen. There we are. That's better. That's the Irish Guards, who I think in the film were commanded by Michael Caine, I believe. So we get this over this little bridge. Oh, that's good. We now get to travel up the road and back again. The heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Holy eye test, Batman. So crossing this little bridge, you have to be small to cross a bridge, and if they get you when they're trying to cross a bridge, you take extra damage. So they managed to recreate that method quite well. Infantry can cross rivers and that, and especially even major rivers. However, tanks can't, and it's a lot harder to cross rivers. A lot harder. Bombard! I don't know who you are, but I'm going to shoot you with artillery. And you're not dead yet, and you should be. So I hit you with your artillery. See, very powerful British units here, but we haven't got through Eindhoven yet. And we have promises to keep and miles to go before we sleep. So we've got to keep the road open. Sending these Royals to attack this guy at the back. You're a tank destroyer somewhere in the wilderness. You're going to shoot somebody. You're going to shoot this guy in Eindhoven. And you're going to shoot this guy, so I really want you out of the way. Here we go. So all the units get in each other's way. So having units sitting on the road is actually a bad thing. But them next to the road, so keep an eye on it. I never know what units are. There could be some crappy infantry. Could be a panzer division. We're not quite sure. So we're going to shell everything. Bombardment. Oh yes. Bombardment with artillery. Different types of artillery. There's self-propelled guns. There are airdropped artillery. There's towed artillery, and so there might be another type as well. There's definitely different types of artillery, and they all have different range. Here we are. So what have we got for bombardment? Yeah, it's air landing, self-propelled, and normal. Motorised artillery, air landing artillery. Now it says that there's 4 types of artillery. And a really tiny manual. Nah. This is Arnhem. This is the far north of the map. The map is on its side. That's Gene Hackman down the bottom, who's parachuted in. This is Nijmegen, where the Americans and Gene Hackman are trying to capture the bridge. I know Robert Redford's around somewhere. I think up here is Anthony Hopkins and Sean Connery. So we've captured Nijmegen pretty much, and we've captured Arnhem, but we need to get the troops up to reinforce it. And they're still a long, long way away. And we found some enemy tanks in Eindhoven. This is a bad thing. You're not wrong. Good old Hackman. He's still going, but he's still going. Bless him. He's very thin now. Obviously, he's very old. I saw a picture of him. You know, still look quite happy. But obviously, he was like, yeah, bloody hell, you're thin. Not knocking the man, but he was like, bloody hell, you're thin, mate. Let's get rid of these bastards. Right, we've got tanks in Eindhoven. I do like Hackman. He's a good actor. I've not seen his last film. I think it's might have had Ray Romano in it. So these guys are getting ground down because we are retreating and we're getting squashed against the river. And there are more Germans coming. This is a bad thing. So we're digging in as best we can. So something's flashing. Poles are going to attack because they're very brave. See that's the Poles attacking. Polish now they had a bad August. The Polish Parachute Brigade. They wanted to be dropped into Warsaw to help out the Warsaw Uprising, and the British couldn't do it because it was too far on their own, and they weren't allowed to use the Soviet Union airfields. So the Soviets wouldn't let them. So there was a real problem with morale, as in like Warsaw's getting massacred and we can't do anything about it, and they weren't very happy. And that's only a month previous to this. And I think the bloke in charge got some of the blame unfairly at Arnhem when he wasn't even at Arnhem, and he didn't even make it into Arnhem because everything dropped so badly. Always the way. Always the way. Americans, this is the 82nd Airborne. They've got 2 airborne divisions, 82nd and the 101st. Here we've done pretty well. So I'm going to make this guy go across the road and help out. And you're going to stay where you are because you're guarding that bridge. I think you need to go and help out your mates because they need a bit of help. So they're getting a bit squashed. Strength is not men. It's some kind of vague argument of how strong they are. Because what does it actually say? Strength is something like what? It's not actually. It's battalions start around 45. Battalions are around 50, and brigades are around 100. So he's taking a little bit of damage, but he's going to dig in. And these guys can now get out of the river and go and join Gene Hackman. You're going to stay where you are, and you are now going to shell. This is air-dropped artillery. Shell those bastards. Now the 101st Airborne. And we are going to... Where are we going to go? I think we're going to go the other way. Because we've got this bridge. This bridge is safe. We need to capture the bridge at Nijmegen. We are going to change our orders. And we are going to change our size and go to the attack. Because we've got Germans coming in. And I think tanks as well. You retreated. So because we retreated, we can't go north. So we'll go south. West. or something. You want to get off the road. I want you to attack. You want to bombard this unit, which I think are tanks. So once the British get through Eindhoven, things hopefully get a bit easier. Although the road then gets even narrower and there's even more bridges. And the Germans are coming in from the sides. So the full operation which we're playing, although I may as well do the whole thing or try to at least. It's 26 turns and requires 8 to 10 hours to play. We've been at it for an hour and a half. 26 turns. So each day is 3 turns. So really that's about 7 or 8 days. We started on the 17th of September. But you can see things progressing. And it started out quite well. And now we've hit lots of roadblocks. So the pink is city. This is Nijmegen. Black is town, village, but pink is city. Really built up. The big blue thing is the lower Rhine. Can only be crossed by bridge or by paratroops or glider troops. They're light. No one else can cross it. The little blue is rivers. The light blue is swamps. The reds are forests. And you've got some contour lines of hills. This is German artillery bombarding us, which is a bad, bad thing. I'm dressed as Field Marshal Montgomery, including the tank regiment badge, which he liked to wear. He wore 2 badges on his hat. He wasn't meant to, but he did, because he was Monty. Oh dear. So that's a small American who's taken extra damage, because he's been captured on the road. And he's had to retreat. So now the British are in charge. And we need to change our size and attack these Germans. And you're going to keep moving. So we need to keep pushing forward, but without getting attacked. Which is always a bit of a risk. But we are pushing these guys back. Cross this bridge and attack Jerry. Lots of really powerful units who are unfortunately stuck. Yeah, I don't know. I never know why you can't bombard, because you could. I think maybe you've already bombarded. That's why you only get to bombard once a turn, I think. Keep pushing forward, squinting at the screen because it's yellow and green, which is bloody madness. Absolute madness. Right. So can we get these tanks out of these German tanks or Panzerkampfwagen out of Eindhoven? Hopefully so. Because they're stopping our advance. Oh, good. We made them retreat. Excellent. This is excellent news, chaps. So there's turns and phases and days and bombardment and modifiers. It's proper wargaming. That was a German attack and that was a bit shit, wasn't it? Let's keep pushing forward. So, we need to change our size. And you're going to keep pushing around. Who are you? You keep travel. He's squinting at the screen. awful choice of colours. I was saying it every single turn, and eventually R.T. Smith in 1985 I realised, yeah, I'll stick with the colours of the Desert Rats. They're much better. Numpty. Because it's like, there's something flashing on the screen, and it is hard to tell. We'll get rid of these tanks, and then we can push forward to the next bridge. Right. Bombard. And can I bombard anything? I think I'll probably bombard these guys who aren't dead yet. Apparently marshes are really difficult to attack people in. You're going to attack. And you're going to attack a little bit. Oh, we've got some more units. The 44th Royal Tank Regiment. A brigade of tanks. At the far end of the map. So let's charge him forward as far as we possibly can. But this will be really useful in Arnhem, which we're at the other end of the map of. It's now night time as well. So let's bombard this guy. So hopefully we'll get some movement. Come on. Out of the way, Mr. Tank. Oh, this guy to go away into prisoners of war land. Ooh, he's gone. Come on, naff off. So the tanks have gone, but the infantry has either advanced or retreated, and I'm not quite sure which. But we've definitely got him in a pincer movement. That's what we want. This is the German goat. They're the baddies. This is Arnhem, where things are not going well. We are holding off though. We've got the bridge. We've definitely got the bridge. That's Gene Hackman. Polish paratroops. But we are being driven back onto the bridge. We did better than in real life, because in real life only one battalion managed to make it to the bridge. Everyone else got stuck in Osterbeek. And then everyone got cut off from each other. So it didn't go very well at all. I like the spinning bridge. So the strength is confusing. In that, I'd like to know how many men you've got. Because like Desert Rats, you've got Italian Infantry Division, starts up with 6,000 men, and that goes down over time. It increases a little bit, goes down. You know, I've taken casualties. So this is 50. I think I've done all right. I've taken some casualties. But this has gone quite well. We've got rid of those annoying Germans who are in the way. So we now need to go and do something else. Right. This is night time of the 19th of September. We've captured the bridge at Nijmegen. This is a good thing. We're about to lose the bridge at Arnhem. This is a bad thing. I'm going to dig in. These guys are started at 50, now 15. So they are retreated. They are going to dig in and hope for the best. These guys are fine, but they're getting worn down. And they're going to dig in and wait. These guys are fine. They are going to find. They're going to just wait, really. Let's move here. Again, what are you doing? Let's go up here and wait. You stay where you are. Someone's flashing. Oh, it's Gene Hackman again. He's getting ground down a little bit, but he's going to keep attacking the very small Germans who do double damage. You guys have done very well. They've managed to clear the bridge. So we're now going to travel down this side and help defend Nijmegen. There he goes. Double damage. Small Germans, double damage. We like double damage. We're hurting them. These are glider troops. Okay, no, they're gliders. Not planes, but gliders. Tow feather planes. Now it's the Americans. How are you doing? How are you doing? Oh, they're doing fine. So they're going to move forward and attack. We're going to stay put. Guard the bridge. Let's all drop up and down this road, cause havoc. You're badly damaged. You're half strength. So what you to do is move out of the way. Again, you're a bit damaged, but you're okay for the moment. You're full strength. So I want you to try and help out the British. I want you to go and help out over here. We're basically all milling back and forth. We've retreated. So we're going to dig in. And I want you to... I'm not on the... I need to get back to the road and get back over the bridge. And shell those guys. We're getting reinforcements coming from the 101st Airborne. So we're going to change our size. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to go over here. They're all going to stay put and dig in. So we've done pretty well, I think. The Americans. Let's shell that bloke. And the British are now getting into Eindhoven. This is good. This is Eindhoven. Then it's Sol, Beckel, Grave, Nijmegen, Arnhem. And we've got Nijmegen and Arnhem, so we can get our troops up there. Oh, we've cleared Eindhoven. Remember, crossing a bridge, you have to be little to cross a bridge. Little, very small. And it gets worse. The further up you go, you get the big rivers, you really have to be little. So you have to control the bridges very quickly. This is why we have paratroops. See, they don't like it up 'em. They don't like it up 'em. Yes. We've driven him back. No worries, Fred. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And obviously tomorrow, the big morning. It's coming. Hopefully coming up to the 20th. That's how we're getting on. But I'm enjoying this. I've not played this one before. It's interesting because I like the bridges and the fact you're going to be little to get over the bridges make it quite interesting. The fact that you start out so well. It's like, yeah, I'll catch an Arnhem. That's a piece of piss. But capturing Arnhem wasn't difficult. Holding Arnhem, that's a much more of a challenge. That's the British again. So we need to get our tanks, make them small. As they're small, we can now make them cross the bridge. We're already on the road, which is nice. All the guys on the road are going to stay on the road. We're going to attack the German artillery. I don't know why we can... bastards. There's night time now. For the 19th for the British, phase 3. Here are the Royals. And tank destroyers, who are rather slow. And the 1st Corps Artillery. Let's bomb along the road. And help out the Americans. Oh. Where am I? There we are. It's quite hard to see because it's yellow and green. I did a game once. It was quite nice. I did these trees and they were yellow and green. It's like, hang on, they're really. Oh, the road. The road was like yellow earth of dirt and green grass. So I thought actually, it's really hard to see if you're colourblind. If you're not, so I made it a black and white. Do you want a black and white option? Yeah, then it's because there's black and white, which is much nicer. You can see what's rather than yellow and green. Yeah, no. So here's Arnhem. We've still got the bridge. We've definitely got the bridge. I'm intrigued by the menu, but I don't know what the menu's going to do. Because on some games they tell you how many losses you've taken, which is always nice to know, out of curiosity. Right, so we now cross this bridge. And we're going to drive forward. Get off the road. Who the hell's... Who are you? Oh, you can keep going. Again, it's the who the hell are you? What are we doing? Again. So we're trying to get rid of that German at the bottom. Because he is not our friend. So we're going to shell that German. Oh, more friends coming in. The 43rd Infantry Division. Again, the wrong end of the map. So brigades start with a strength of about 100. Battalions around 50. So we are getting reinforcements up that end, which is nice to know. And then we're going to charge them forward. Right, you are going to travel up here and help the Americans out. Here we are. So get rid of these Germans at the top and at the bottom. So that they're menacing Eindhoven, which is a bad thing. That's bombarding. So you can see why it might take a while. And this is, I'm not really faffing. I'm not taking the piss. But I'm moving forward at a steady pace. If you're playing this 3-player with people thinking, what should I do now? It would take a lot longer. And the computer is reasonably good. It digs in. It's attacking me, which is good. I'd roast beef for lunch. It was rather nice. So they've managed to cut the road in certain places. And they're trying at Nijmegen. Arnhem, they're doing a lot better. I think the big thing with Arnhem is don't go east of the Rhine. Which I've tried, this is down the bottom of the map. Don't go there. It's a death trap. Which I did, because I'm an idiot. And it's doable, but there's a guide on how to do it. But it's not easy. It's very difficult to hold on to Arnhem. Because it's not just capturing, it's holding on to this massive German force shows up. we think we're back. We've now nearly lost the bridge. Was it a bridge too far? Possibly. But we definitely got Eindhoven, which is a good thing. They got so close. It's sad they got within about 5 miles or something. Which is like, really? That's how close they got. But it wasn't enough. So you are going to keep charging forward. All these towns. All these little towns. So this is the British turn. It is British morning non-motorised turn. So lots of infantry and paratroops. We should probably be thinking about retreat. But we're not going to do that. Because we are British. Let's try and cross the river. Let's be bold. Let's be bold. Death or glory. We try and recapture the bridge. We've retreated. So we're getting very badly mauled now. You're progressing. Into the swamps. Now we move. Then we have another British motorised turn. We'll do this day, the 20th of September, and then we'll probably call it an evening. But it's been good. Well, so that's going to be another half an hour, by the way, I reckon. I wish my wife would come back from the cinema. She went to see Bullet Train. I enjoyed Bullet Train. Crimes of the Future was all right. It was all right. Crimes of the Future. Last I've seen, it was good. Yeah, Bullet Train was really good. Oh, I saw See How They Run. That was excellent. Now it's the Americans. And they're doing okay. We're going to dig in for now. So we push them back from the road. And we've got reinforcements coming. We're going to dig in. We like digging in. And we've already retreated. That means we're definitely going to dig in. Yeah, go and help the British out. It's not that far from Nijmegen to Arnhem. It really isn't far. That's the sad thing. But you got to get over a bridge, and that's not easy. Especially and it's a long bridge. It's something like 600 metres long. Obviously, if you get someone at the other end with a machine gun, you're going to have problems. So these guys are having some problems. But hopefully, these guys will help. So I'm going to make you cross the bridge. Or try to, or fail to cross the bridge. You're going to bombard. Because we don't want the Germans guarding the other end of the bridge because it would be very difficult to cross. Blue for America. They could have done like a border effect, red, white and blue, but then that way the British as well. So we've got the road all the way up to Arnhem, apart from that little bit in the middle now. But it's hard to... I find it hard to tell... Oh, that's good, he retreated. So I was saying, are we winning or not? because I don't really get the numbers. And because in Desert Rats, you have the combat phase at the end of each turn, so each side attacks each other, and so you get like, you do this much damage to them, they do this much damage to you. You get an idea of how much damage you're doing to each other, because it's like, because it's you attack, and then they attack. It's hard to know. Are we doing more damage or are we taking more damage? People outside, shocking. Oh, I know. My cat's not happy. He wants his early dinner. So what we need to do now, I need to be very careful. I'm going to change my size to make myself like deploying for combat. And we need to get rid of these bastards. And having got rid of those bastards, we then get around them. I know. I want to see the nice people. No. Okay. He just wants to see the nice people. He says, no, people, they're not nice people. My dinner. Bless him. He's a good boy. So the idea I was saying is that I get my tanks around that bridge at the top of the screen and then around the back of the Germans. He's not a happy boy. He's been very brave. He's only had like 5 dinners today. So this is the British turn of the morning. So what I might need to do, after we get through the morning, I might need to call it a night because the cat's not happy. And if the cat's not happy, what's the point of anything really? But I'll save the game where we are though, because it's intriguing. It is an intriguing game. So moving forward a little bit. Now it's the baddies. And you see, because you have extra bridges, you can, at this end of the map at least, outflank people. Whereas once you get up the Arnhem end, no, you can't. There's one bridge. Here, lots of different bridges, and the rivers you can cross the rivers yourself. So here you can cross the bridge at Grave or further up. So they're pushing us back now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to, first of all, do a snapshot. So I don't know what the go to the menu will do. Nothing. Sometimes on some of his versions, it gives you stuff like here's what casualties you've had, kind of thing, but not here. But that's been interesting. I see you can see why it might take several more hours to do that, and my cat's not going to be happy with me doing that. So what I'm going to do though is thank you for watching, keeping me company while I do a bit of silliness. I'm going to see who's about on a Sunday evening. Who's doing what? Well, SteTech Gaming is playing Knights of the Old Republic, which is a very nice man. I saw him very briefly in Manchester. No worries. It's always nice to do something different, and because it is this time of year kind of thing. Because it is that time of year. I thought let's do something interesting, and I've not played it before. So I think we are going to go on a little radio. Do say hello, and I'll be with you in a short time. Ta-ta.